We're in Danskeland.
Danskeland.
Howdy folks, Mark from New Boat Building. I'm in Denmark with my friend Mikkel Pa from the Small Boat School.
Yeah. Mark is right now just sort of adapting to the 9-hour time difference between Denmark and Canada. He's doing a great job.
Halfway around the world I've come.
Halfway around the world to help me build tool totes.
We're doing a bunch of content creation and brainstorming, brain jamming, brain yamming about has everything to do with teaching boat building with small boats. We're going to be spending some time fixing up this beautiful old barn from the 1890s, yeah?
1860s?
1860s?
Yeah, it's actually older than that. You know, it was moved a few hundred meters from
really?
a few hundred meters down the road, like stone for stone and stick for stick.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So we're going to be doing some a little bit of timber framey barn reno work over the next few weeks, and this is all in anticipation of starting up some in-person courses here. And the first course we're going to be teaching together is building this boat builder's toolbox.
That's right. So it'll be kind of a mix of an in-person course and an online course where the students will get some pre-class information, sort of get them started and get, you know, hit the ground running.
Get your head in the game.
Get your head in the game.
Get your ducks in a row.
Exactly. And after the class, when you get home with your beautiful tool tote, you can do some post-class stuff like, you know, some rope work or some carving and stuff like that.
How to pimp out your ride.
Yeah, and the thing about this tote that kind of makes it special is that, you know, it teaches a lot of boat building skills without you having to spend hundreds or thousands of hours building an actual boat.
That's true.
So it has, you know, many of the same skills included, like this rounded thing, the handle, steam bent, which is something you do a lot in wooden boat building. And it's also rounded, so you make your own mini mast, so to say, which is tapered at the ends, just like a mast would be. So those sorts of skills and all this end piece and these sides are all, you know, rolling bevels and involve a lot of, you know, cutting fair curves and using various different hand tools to produce these shapes.
Those of you who follow me, you know that I'm all about transferable skills. And while this seems like a super simple little project, it's got a pile of transferable skills in there. And we've got some joinery on here, we've got some dovetails, which we don't use a lot in wooden boat building, but if you're doing boat interiors, you've got drawers and things like that that you can make. But on here, it's a beautiful application of them and the exact right joint for holding the bottom onto the sides.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a way of learning how to do accurate cuts with a handsaw, you know, how to use a chisel properly, stuff like that, which will be useful in all sorts of boat work.
No, and there's even some skills that you wouldn't even think about, like these little cleats on here. They've been put in with screws.
Yeah.
Well, the average house carpenter takes their screw gun and sticks a screw on the end and just fires away into whatever they're putting it into. In wooden boats, we don't do that because that is a recipe for disaster. We are very, very, very fussy, very fussy about how you put a screw into something, making sure the right clearance holes are drilled, the holes are drilled to the right depth, and how you put the screw in so that you don't bugger it up. Because when we're using in wooden boat building, we're usually using bronze fasteners, and they're long-lasting and they're strong, but they have a moment of fragility when you're putting them in.
That's right.
And so that's one of the reasons.
Them, it won't. And a slight, you know, it's just a tiny detail. But these 3 screws that hold this cleat together, you know, it's screwed in instead of nailed in order to be able, you'll be able to replace this if it should ever get worn. But the screws are driven into the dovetail pins here in order to go into cross grain, because you'll get the best holding power in cross grain as opposed to, you know, driving them into the end grain of the actual dovetails.
Great detail. I love that. Did you clock the screw heads too?
No, wait.
We won't mention that small oversight. You know what's interesting about something like this is all the skills that you're using in building this little project, okay? Think about this. We flip that upside down. That could be a dining room table. These become the aprons. You shrink those up. The top is still dovetailed to sides, the side aprons, and then you turn this into a trestle legs coming out the sides, you know. And of course, we make it 3 feet by 6 feet or whatever it is. But you know that those skills have been transferred from making this tool tote into a trestle table.
That would be the thing about this course, is that it's, you know, it involves some particular techniques, but the level of customization is really big, you know. So if you want to use it for woodworking tools, that's great. But if you wanted to use it for like a 6-pack of beers, or you wanted to use it for your gardening tools, or whatever, and how you want to, you know, fit out the interior or the exterior, that's very much, you know, up to the individual, which has always been the case for craftsmen, right?
That's
it's
true.
sort of an expression of your personality.
It very much is, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine have got some carvings on them to identify them as my own as well, or to customize them, if you will. And we'll have a little bit of a carving element in the course as well that we'll take care of, that will be available. What's the date for the course?
20th and the 21st of September.
Of 2025.
In Langeland, Denmark. Beautiful spot.
We're what, 3 hours-ish?
2.5 hours from Copenhagen, 4 hours from Hamburg.
In the town of
Humble.
Humble.
So there are 2 Humbles, Humble, Denmark, and then there's Humble, Texas.
Yeah. Is there?
Yeah.
If everybody's eating barbecued ribs around you, you landed in the wrong spot.
Yeah. There's like a handful of people who will be, you know, able to come here to the physical class in case you're in the Denmark Langeland area and want to join. But if you're not able to do that, there will be an online version of the course where you can do the work at your own workshop, or if you have a, you know, shared workshop space anywhere, then that will be doable as well. We'll be doing lunch in the garden, hopefully, if the weather is good.
Yep.
Traditional Danish smørrebrød.
Smørrebrød.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be doing your own open sandwiches every day, and I think we'll have a lot of fun.
I think that's going to be great. So 2 instructors for the price of 1, this time only. So come on down.
Would be fun to see you.
And if I manage to get here on public transit, you can too, because I get lost in my own house.
Yeah, and Langeland is a beautiful place to visit.
It is gorgeous out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikkel, where do we find out about your course?
Oh, there's a website, and it's called smallboatschool.com. And at the very top of that, there's a big button you can click and read more about the course and sign up.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Not real cool.